Hello, and welcome to Man vs. Violin, week 25, day 175. It's 175 days of practicing the violin every day continuously. Since my last video, I've been working primarily from the Suzuki book. And I've been working on Minuet number 1 and Etude. I've also been working on double stops, which is playing two strings at the same time. And for that, I've been playing Led Zeppelin's Kashmir. I've been working on some other stuff too, practicing fingering and trying to feel comfortable moving from first position to third position. But primarily, I would say that 60, maybe 70% of my practicing has been from Suzuki book number 1. So, Suzuki book 1, Minuet number 1, page 38. That was Minuet number 1 on the A string. Suzuki also recommends practicing it on the next higher string, which is the D string. So let's try that as well. I like the sound of it better on the D string. It's not as shrill. Maybe that's because my primary instrument is bass guitar and I kind of gravitate to the lower register. But I think it sounds nicer on the D string. Definitely a work in progress though, but a nice song to play. It sounds really nice. The next song that I've been working on has also been Etude. And if you've watched any of the previous videos, you know that Etude is a song that's been giving me a lot of grief. But I'm just trying to play through it, trying to improve in the sections that are the most difficult and challenging for me. And it is getting better. So let's see. Let's try old Etude from the Suzuki book. Try that again. That's one of those songs that some days I can play it well and some days I can't. So today just happens to be one of those days that I can't play it very well. But that's okay. That's where I'm at. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know I don't do second takes or I don't edit anything. How I play today is how I play today. So that one, that's why I keep practicing that one every day, because it's a song that I want to be able to just nail every time I play. And I'm not at the point where I can do that. The other thing I've been practicing, as I mentioned before, is Kashmir from Led Zeppelin. It's a good song to practice double stops. So I've finally been able to play, not to speed though, but play the kind of entire first segment where the double stops are. So Kashmir from Led Zeppelin. And then it goes into which I'm still working on the transition from the double stops into that those single notes. But that's a real fun song to practice double stops, and it's a good one because that D string, you're not fingering it. You're just fingering the G string first along with the D string, and then you're fingering the A string along with the D string. So you're just kind of fingering one out of the two strings. So I think it's a good song to start practicing double stops. It's a good song because you don't have to worry about fingering two strings at the same time. One of them, the D string, is going to be open. So that's fun too. Still working on that. So I want to really be able to play that well before I start incorporating double stops that involve fingering both strings. So one thing that I've been kind of looking at over the last few weeks is my rosin choices. When the first violin that I got was a Cecilio violin, which I still have and I still use and I still really like. I think the Cecilio 300 violin, for its price point, it's a really good instrument. For $100, you can't beat it. And it came with this rosin right here, the Cecilio rosin. And the rosin, it works pretty well. It's good. I don't have any complaints about it. Then when I got the Fiddler Shop Symphony violin, that came with this Holstein rosin. And the Holstein rosin is a lot darker. And I think it's because my skill level is low. But I find that it grips the strings a little too hard for me. And I find that when I use this rosin, everything sounds scratchier than it normally does. Maybe this isn't an issue with a better player, but someone at my level, with my ability, I think this rosin doesn't work for me. I'm going to keep it though, because hopefully as I get better as a violin player, this rosin might work out really well. From there, I moved to RDM Artist Deluxe rosin. I got my little painter's tape on the box, and it's this little guy here. That one seems to work okay. I would say it's comparable to the Cecilio rosin. And I just wanted to kind of also see what an expensive rosin felt like and whether it was worth the extra price. So I got this rosin, this Cecilia, not to be confused with Cecilio, but the Cecilia Solo rosin, which is this one here. And it's a light rosin, even though it looks kind of dark in the light here. This rosin, I like this rosin. This seems to work pretty well. And so this is what I've been using, the Cecilia Solo rosin right now. And it seems to be doing pretty good. But I'm definitely, rosin is one of those things that even the more expensive rosins aren't that expensive. So I think it's worth spending a little time trying to find one that works well. One thing I just wanted to touch base on is that this is my 175th day of continual violin playing. And one thing that I've noticed in probably about the last week, so about the last 5 days, is I'm starting to feel more comfortable with my bowing. I'm starting to feel like I'm bowing deliberately, if that makes any sense. So I feel like I'm able to control the sound, the position a lot better than before. I'm not saying my bowing technique is good, but what I'm saying is that I feel like my bowing is more deliberate and more, whereas in the past I had felt that I was just moving the bow, but the sounds were just kind of coming without too much input from me. Now I feel like I'm able to put the sounds deliberately where I want them. And I think it's like that with any musical instrument, because I know with the bass, it took a while before I really felt that I was playing the bass rather than the bass playing me. And it took a while to get that point. And so I think it's the same way with any musical instrument, where it's a progressive stage where you start to feel like you're in control of the instrument. And so with the violin, just in the last week, I've started to get that feeling where I'm controlling the sound, where I'm controlling the violin, the sound coming from the violin. So that's a good feeling, because that means that the violin is starting to become more of an extension of me rather than just some secondary object that I'm manipulating. So that's one thing that I feel has really started to happen. And it's taken 170 days about for it to happen, just in my personal violin journey. So that's all I have for today. Week 25, day 175. I'm going to keep practicing from the Suzuki book. I'm going to still keep working on that little etude. That little guy, that little etude needs a lot of practice before I feel like I've got it nailed. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.